to the cloud. Whoa. Might have to click OK.
Yep.
Do you want me to just start, or are we waiting?
I think just go for it. I think everybody's here. If we're missing
Okay.
somebody, I'm not putting a face to who it is.
Okay, cool.
Yep.
Wow. Good job getting everyone there on time. All right. Great week last week, guys. Like 27 bookings or something. Sheldon had 7, Michael had 5, Steve had 5, John had 2, Juan had 2. So we are just booking lights out in Minnesota, which is exactly the kind of market launch that I want to see. All right. So this is how we've always done it at Blue Raven. We teach you how to book really well at the beginning, and then we have to teach you how to pull through those bookings to final design. So like I'm coming from a place today that excites me that you guys have done such a good job, that we're now training on final designs. So, I'm going to show you kind of like your pull through percentage right now. Just take that, with a grain of salt, or not a grain of salt, but I'm not trying to come down hard on you or anything like that. You guys are in a perfect position to be successful right now. So I'm going to help you guys with the pull through and kind of advancing from just selling site surveys to actually selling solar. Okay. So, because at the end of the day, like one of my other managers says, my grandma can get bookings, right? So we want to actually get final design. So, let me share my screen. And then I guess real quick before I start. So yeah, like Friday, I think it was Friday, I told you guys loan docs are going to be required at the bookings right now. So this is a rule coming from me and Chad. All right. It's not really the rule from corporate. If they're still going to do a welcome call with you if you don't have loan docs signed. I'm just telling you, let's make this a rule for right now. It's not a permanent rule. Okay. Once we get a new site surveyor trained up and we can get site surveys within the next 3 days, then we'll go back to letting you guys book without loan docs. But Michael has asked for pull through help, just like everyone else has asked for pull through help. So my help to you guys is requiring loan docs signed at the booking. Okay. Not everyone wants to do it. So that's where we're going to start. All right. So let me share my screen. Wow, I've got a lot of stuff open here. All right. Can you guys see that?
I know it's small. We'll send out the recording later. So yeah, we can see it. It's probably a little small for people in the back, but we can see it.
Okay. Yeah, sorry we're not on the TV today. But so I'll kind of read this. So the last 60 days up there in Minnesota, 25% pitched a booking, which is fantastic, especially for a new market. I'm really proud of you guys for that. 23% booking to final design. Does anyone besides Michael know what the booking to final design percentage should be? 60. Yep, exactly. So it's very rare that new reps have a 60% pull through within their first 90 days. So again, don't beat yourself up. This is where we're going to take you next. All right, you guys. I hate training on pull through in people's like first month or two because it's just so overwhelming. You're still learning so much. But a lot of you guys have been there. You've pitched a lot of deals, and I think you're ready for this training. So we're going to jump in and get your all's pull through percentage up. So we're just focusing on, the pull through steps today. The booking through final design complete, obviously. By the way, this slide right here, the timeline, this is what I show twice in my bookings at least. So make sure you're showing this, please. Okay, so these are the 10 keys to pull through. All right, you're not going to be able to memorize all the details of this training your first week, probably. It's going to take experience, and you guys are going to have to keep practicing and working through it. but I want you guys to take a screenshot or write these down. Michael will send out the slides as well, and you can take a screenshot. You guys should be, once you're starting work in the morning before your appointments, you should pull this up and go through these 10 keys to pull through. Okay. Okay. So those 10 are: get the energy kit and the system size right before the welcome call. Get the most accurate proposal you can before the welcome call. All right. Props is fast, design is slow right now. So get that prop as accurate as you can. Collect home insurance. I don't think Excel requires that in Minnesota, do they?
No, they don't.
That's great. Get the full utility bill during the booking. Take the extra time, guys. Get the full bill uploaded. At least get a picture of it on your phone. Sell the idea of solar. All right. We'll talk about that. Create urgency is number 4. Stop selling monthly payments. So please stop selling monthly payments. If you're selling monthly payments, you're not selling solar the right way. And I'll tell you about that here. Get the loan docs signed. Pretty self-explanatory. Schedule a final design appointment. Stop by the site survey. Contact a customer right when the final design is sent, and close the deal. All right. So those are the 10 keys. Some of these you guys have already trained on these, so I'm not going to go into all 10 of these in detail, but there's some I'm sure you're missing, and I want to talk about that. So getting the most accurate proposal created. Michael, do we need to spend time here? Do I need to talk about this in your opinion?
I don't think so.
Okay, good. Yeah, I'm trying to save time where we can. This could be a really long training if we go through everything. But yeah, take the time, guys. Region the proposal if you need to, and book the deal on the most accurate proposal that you think you have. All right. You can switch later. It's still not going to be 100% of the time. You still might have to do regions after the site survey, but do your very best to get it accurate before you do that welcome call. All right, selling the idea of solar. So I love the Minneapolis market because Excel, I have the most experience with Excel. They're also in Colorado. So what's cool is, Excel actually has pretty cheap rates of electricity, but yet Denver has always sold the most for Blue Raven, even compared to markets that have better economics. So the reason for that is we don't sell solar through monthly payments. We sell the idea of solar. All right. And the way we do that is one of the ways we do that is through social proof. All right. So I pulled up a couple things this morning. I just took a screenshot of one article I found, U.S. Solar Partner on 14 community solar gardens in Minnesota. So U.S. Solar announced T-Mobile subscription. So they're building like 14 new 1 megawatt solar farms. So basically, there are these huge solar farms going in all over Minnesota. So, Minnesota's going solar already. But there's really no difference for you as the homeowner because they still control your rates. So all these solar farms you're seeing pop up, yeah, you're going to be getting some of that power, that clean power, but you're still going to be charged whatever Excel decides. All right. So getting it on your roof and owning your own solar system, you will now, control your rate of electricity and reap all the benefits. And then here's a different article as well. I was going to pull this up. I'm going to share this with you really quick. 1 second. This website is not the best here, but okay. Can you see this?
Yeah, waiting for fei.pro-market.net.
That's not good. Yeah, this website is kind of ridiculous with all the ads and stuff. I'll post the link, but I'll just kind of read through it real quick. This other article I found in Mankato, a pair of large solar arrays are about to pop up on the north side of Mankato. sorry if I'm butchering that name, and just outside city limits in Lime Township. Um, Seeking a 35-year permit for a 1 megawatt solar array on land being purchased from the city. This array will consist of about 3,250 solar panels on a 6.8 acre parcel. The other one is nearly 2,600 solar panels. So again, it's the same thing as the other article. You know, these huge solar farms are popping up all over the place. You might as well reap the benefits on your own home.
So kind of reinforce what you're saying, Matt, just kind of put it in different words. So you're saying sell the idea by showing things related to solar that are helping people realize this is where things are going. Like the solar farm's not going to directly benefit their bottom line, but you're helping illustrate the idea stuff is headed this direction. And then they go in their mind, I should also head this direction. Is that right?
Yeah, yeah, exactly. So how I would do when I'm selling in a market that is newer to solar. So if I were selling up in Minnesota, I would show a couple pieces of social proof locally. And I would also show these two pictures here, which I know are on your team's group me. If you click on your Wolfpack logo and hit gallery, I'm sure they're in there somewhere.
They're in our PowerPoint as well.
Also in your PowerPoint. Good. So you guys are using this.
Yeah.
Boom. Yeah, this is the other, yeah. So the only difference between Colorado and Minnesota is net metering has just been available for much longer in Colorado. So that's why way more homes have it at this point. You know, it didn't make sense before net metering became attractive here for homeowners. So this is what your neighborhood will look like eventually. Every house that has enough sunlight will have solar panels on it, just like these neighborhoods in Colorado. That's all I say, really. Okay, so moving on to creating urgency. Again, you guys could sell everything perfectly, but if you forget to create urgency, the homeowner is just going to be like, great, this all sounds awesome. I'm going to do this next year, or I'm too busy right now. So you need to create urgency. Right now is the best time in solar history to go solar for three main reasons. One, they extended the tax credit through this year. If you get installed this year, you'll get the full credit. The longer folks wait, the more they will lose on that. Number two, we still have the COVID interest rate. That's what I call it, the COVID interest rate. It's 1.99%. It's going to go up any day now. Again, guys, this actually is going to happen. The rates are going to go up soon.
I like that.
That's brutal.
And then number three, we have our summer promotion right now where you'll get the first 18 months of free solar. So how that works is, let's say your solar payment's $80 a month. Blue Raven will actually send you a check every month for 18 months just to go solar. This won't be around forever. Once again, the longer folks wait, the worse deal they're going to get. So there's thousands of dollars you can save right now. People who wait will not get this good of a deal. So create that urgency like that. And then this is the slide I show when I create urgency. This is the slide I show, and I sell Blue Power Plus, guys, unless I'm in a situation where they're really tight on their monthly budget, they really need their monthly payment to go down. Then I'll sell Smart Start. Again, that's when you have to sell monthly payments. Some customers will put you in that corner, and you have to sell that monthly payment. Then I'll actually pitch Smart Start, and I won't show this slide, obviously, but for the most part, I sell Blue Power Plus. This is also how you're going to stop selling monthly payments. So this is for Colorado. But on the Public Utility Commission, I'm sure if you do some research, you can find some graphs like this. So I just pull this up and I say, hey, here's why everyone's going solar. So Excel got to Colorado in 2000. They've raised the rates by 70%. So all you do is, and I kind of do like a flat line with my hand, all you do by going solar is you just lock in a rate of electricity for your house moving forward, and you'll avoid all that future inflation. So in your opinion, Mr. Homeowner, do you think Excel's rates are going to continue rising? Are they going to stay the same? Or are they going to go down moving forward? What do you think? That homeowner is going to say they're going to go up. Great. So depending on your home, sometimes the payment could be $10 more a month, or it could be $10 less a month, or right around the same. It doesn't really matter because all you're doing is you're locking in that rate of electricity. Does that make sense? Yes, great. Boom. Now they don't care if they're paying $60 and you showed up and the monthly payments are $80, right? It still makes more financial sense. People are not motivated to save $20 a month, guys. They're motivated to make smart financial decisions. All right. So that's what I show with that.
Hey, Matt, we missed
Yeah.
that. We missed that last 10 seconds. If that was like the most critical thing you've ever said in your life, you might want to repeat it. Otherwise, we're gonna look like idiots.
Okay. I said the last 10 seconds. I said people are not motivated to save $20 a month, guys. They are motivated to make smart financial decisions. So
Huge.
locking in a rate and avoiding inflation, converting a liability to an asset. Those are the types of terms you need to sell with. So I never compare what they're paying now to what the solar payment. I mean, I kind of do in a roundabout way, but it's still, the way I pitch it just makes sense, even if, because most of the time you are going to pay a little bit more if you compare solar. Starting out, you'll pay a little bit more for solar. Obviously, over time, that'll fix itself, but
Yeah, Matt. So even with Blue Power Plus, like with Smart Start, I rarely ever show that savings sheet. Do you show the savings sheet whenever you're pitching Blue Power Plus? You just go right to here's how much it's going to cost you.
So the slide on the left there, that's what you're talking
Right.
about. Yeah, I really breeze past that quickly, but this is what I say. I show it and I say, so yeah, right now you're paying about $66. Um, and but whoever's going to live here for the next 30 years has to pay for electricity, right? Yes. So if you or the next person uses the same amount of power today, so business as usual, you don't make any changes, that $66 a month payment will be $159 a month over 30 years if you factor in inflation. Does that make sense? Yep. Cool. So what we can do is just lock in $95 a month for 25 years, and then you'll just stop paying for electricity. So whoever lives here over the next 30 years will pay over $46,000 to Excel. So that's the cost of you doing nothing. If you switch over to solar, you're going to create over $23,000 in savings in the house. That's why it adds equity. Okay. And then, so this proposal here was pretty terrible. There's like a lot of shade on the roof. So that's why, $95 is pretty high, but, and then the tax credit was $6,863. So this is what their solar payments would be. So, I say you got two options really. These are the two most common options. You can do anything in between here, but if you just take your tax credit, put it back into the loan by month 18, your payment will be $95 a month. But most people just keep the tax credit. Cash is king in most people's world. You can use that tax credit smarter for something else. If you've got auto loans, credit cards, anything else accruing at a higher interest, if you want to invest it and you can get a higher return than 1.99, I recommend doing that. You can use this money smarter elsewhere. A lot of people keep that money and just pay a higher monthly bill for solar. So then I will, so after I've shown the proposal, I will pull out my notepad. I will do this on my notepad and I'll write Excel on the left and solar on the right and have like a table. And I just do 3-year math. Again, this is if you're pitching Blue Power Plus, do the 3-year math and just show them what they will gain if they keep the tax credit. So I'll say, so right now, $66 a month times 12. Let me just make sure I did it with $66 a month. Yeah, so I did, so $66 a month, what you're paying right now. times 12 is $792. So over the next 12 months, you're going to pay $792. And then the second year, you'll be out $1,584. And then the third year, you'll be out $2,376. And we're not even including for inflation. So if you just keep paying $66 a month for the next 3 years, you'll spend $2,376 and you'll have nothing to show for it. And I pause like that. You'll have nothing to show for it, and I'll pause, okay? Or you could go solar. Your first year is going to be $0 because we're doing 18 months free. And then you're going to be paying $128 a month. This is if you keep your tax credit. Then you're going to be paying $128 a month for 6 months, again, because it's 18 months free. So you only have 6 months of payments within the first 2 years. Does that make sense? Cool.
Yeah.
So you'll be out $768 after 2 years, and then you'll be out $2,304 after 3 years. So 2,376 minus 2,304. So you're going to save $72 over 3 years. Not super motivating, but you will also get a $6,863 tax credit, which means before you spend a dime on this solar system, Mr. Homeowner, you're going to be ahead $6,935.
I like that, Matt.
Pause. Big pause there. Let it sink in. So, and then let me stop sharing just for a minute. Oh, what the heck? So then I'll do this. I'll say, Mr. Homeowner, here's $7,000. I'll actually give them, here's a check for $7,000. Pay me an extra $60 a month on your electric bill. Would you do it? And I pause. Most people will, So that's how I present that. Let me get back in here.
So wait. Reiterate that. So you take your notebook or whatever and you say, pay me, here's $7,000. Pay me an extra $60 a month on your electric bill. Would you do it?
Yeah.
And do they answer or do they just kind of sit there?
Yeah, they just start nodding their head.
Nice.
And they're like, yeah, I would do it.
Yeah. Guys, obviously you need to read the situation, but if you're in a home where, that family can use $7,000, you can offer, you're literally giving that to them, Obviously it depends on how they get the tax credit, and you need to, be transparent about that, but that's up to them to claim it. And you can actually benefit. That's so much value. Families are hurting right now. So we've got some tools to help them out and put them in a better financial situation. And this is just us capitalizing on the tools we have with our solar offer. Okay.
I'm going to use that today. That's great.
So sell the tax credit, guys. Gary, I can promise you, Gary, who has 80 final designs on the year so far, sells a tax credit every single time. This is how he does it. Okay.
He does the 3-year math with people?
He doesn't do 3-year math a lot, but that's kind of my spin on it. And I don't do this every time, but for the majority of people I'm working with, I'll go through this, especially if they're kind of on the fence. And what am I doing here? Let's take a step back and look at big picture stuff. You're not selling the monthly payment. You're not selling the site survey, right? You're selling, you're actually selling the financial benefits and the idea of solar. Hopefully the house qualifies, and you created urgency for them to do it now. So I've got $7,000 for you, but I need you to do this now. If you want me to guarantee that $7,000, I need you to do this now. Basically, that's how I'm selling this in a very respectful, honest way. Okay. We don't need to spend time on getting bills, do we?
No.
I used to have a whole training just for home insurance. So just be glad we don't have to do that. Oh my God. Such a nightmare. Okay, getting the loan doc signed. Here we go, guys. Let me tell you first, if you are nervous in that house to get loan doc signed, you're going to stumble. All right. I can also tell you that a lot of other solar companies require loan docs to be signed in order for it to be a booking. All right, I'm not kidding you here. Whenever I recruit reps from other solar companies, I just tell them loan docs are signed, and they'll find out like 3 months later, and they're like, "What the heck? I didn't know loan docs weren't required." So I promise you, it is not a big deal to get loan docs signed. It does not change anything at all for that homeowner to do a booking. It's not like it's locking them in more, or they can still easily cancel just as they could without loan docs signed. So that's a little disclaimer there. We pulled some data over like a whole year at Blue Raven, and bookings that had loan doc signed became final designs 21% more than with bookings without the loan docs. 21% is an insane number. I can tell you how much money, or I can't tell you how much money Blue Raven spends just to get like a 1% improvement or 2% improvement, guys. So that is a huge number. I recommend having customers sign the loan docs right up to the credit check and before the install agreement, or HIC as it's called now. Here's how I say it. I say, you should have a few emails in your inbox. If you can pull those up, please. Yep, from GoodLeap. So these documents just get that 1.99%. Like I said, rates are going up any day now. GoodLeap requires auto pay, so you might want to grab a checkbook. And then I just shut up and I see what happens. I say that, and then I'm just like, all right, well, see if they do it. A lot of times, if you've created urgency well enough, and you just told them they're going to get $7,000, they're going to go get their checkbook and they're going to sign the documents without even saying a word. Okay. If they start backpedaling, if they say, do I need to sign these now? That's a really common question. Like, hey, do I need to sign these now? I'll just say yes. And that's it. If they are still backpedaling, like, oh, I don't know, Matt. I just, yeah, I'm not
Dang
kidding.
it, Matt. Wait, Matt.
Oh,
Wait.
We lost you. We lost you after you said yes.
oh,
And my brother sounds like it. Yes. Then yeah.
well, there wasn't anything more to that close. The close there is literally just saying yes, and it works a lot of the time. But if they can, are you there? Uh-oh. Are you there?
Yeah, now you're back. I don't know what happened. It just said connection unstable, but now you were good.
Okay.
After they said, so you said they go, do I need to sign these now? And you just look at them and say yes.
Yes. And that usually works. But if they say, oh, I don't know, Matt, we kind of just need to, we're kind of still thinking about it. I say, hey, no worries. Just remember, we still have to, or the loan isn't funded until panels are on the roof. All that this is doing, if by filling these out, all that this is doing is guaranteeing the 1.99%. It's not like you're taking out a loan right now. It's not funded until panels are on the roof.
So that's how you soften it up.
That's how I soften it up. So guys, don't soften it up. I can guarantee you most of you are just softening up your bookings, and that's like your first attempt. Don't soften it up unless you absolutely have to. Okay? So this is really important. Your first attempt, all you're going to do is you're going to say, you should have a few emails in your inbox. If you could please pull those up. Yep, they're from GoodLeap. So these just get you that 1.99%. Like I said, rates are going up any day now. GoodLeap requires auto pay, so you might want to grab a checkbook. And if they, guess what? If you sold it good enough, they're going to go and fill it out. Then you don't have to say anything else. All right. Don't soften it up any more than you have to. But, the next thing is what I say. The next thing I say is if they say, do I need to sign these now? I say yes. Okay, then I stop there and I don't soften it up any more than there. If they, if they're backpedaling anymore, I'll go, hey, the loan isn't funded until panels on the roof. That's, all this is doing for you now is guaranteeing the 1.99%. And that's as much as you'll need to soften it up. Usually they'll sign it.
And then do you do that? Do they sign the loan docs before or after the installation agreement? Typically.
Before.
Gotcha. Nice.
Yeah.
You do the top.
Yeah. If you check the blue send finance docs button,
Okay.
it'll send it.
You don't have to check that. They're going to get, you can, that will save a little bit of step, but they can just, in their approval email from GoodLeap, you can just hit get loan on their email. So you don't have to click that button for whoever's saying that. But you might as well. Doesn't really matter. Another thing I could say is, hey, remember, we still have to approve your home and confirm the numbers I showed you. If we need to make changes, you and I will go through these again at the final design appointment. So, but all you're doing today is getting that 1.99, right? All right. You guys are scheduling final design appointments. I'm not going to spend time here. Keep doing that. I love seeing that in the group me. I love seeing those final design appointments in the group me. Stop by the site survey. Highly recommend this. I know you can't do it every time, but if you can, take the extra effort, drive out there. Just say, hey, I was in the area. Just want to stop by during your survey. How's your day going? Hopefully they don't even bring up solar and you guys are just building rapport and hanging out. But if they got something on their mind, they're going to bring that up, and then you can get back to the kitchen table. You can pitch again, create more value, get loan docs signed if you forgot, get the utility bill if you forgot. So you're just creating another touch there. Very valuable. Stop by the site survey if you can. Contact the customer right when the final design is sent. Usually ops won't wait to send it. They're just going to send it, but you could always try to have them wait if you want. But right when that final design is sent to the customer, I always send them an email or text. Hey, your final design was sent to you. There weren't any changes. I'll see you tomorrow at your final design appointment, and we'll talk about it.
Can I pause you right there, Matt, real quick?
Yeah.
So whenever you get that text, it's going to get your final design is going to get automatically sent 15 minutes after that. So whenever I get that text, you go into Albatross, make sure the final design looks correct. Sometimes they'll have production wrong or panel count wrong or whatever. So look for those details, make sure it's correct. So that way they don't get sent the wrong final design, because that has happened to us a couple times already. So check it first, and then once it gets sent out, then contact the customer. Yeah,
exactly. That window of time after the site survey, you need to be checking that account a lot. And right when you get that text, you definitely need to do exactly what Michael said. Make sure it looks good. If it doesn't, you need to call ops right away, tell them what's going on. But for the most part, if you got that proposal right up front, you should be good to go. And I know you guys don't have a ton of experience yet, so I'm just helping any way I can. I will tell you, I don't know any final designs of mine in the past year that have been wrong from I don't know, design, just every time I get the final design PDF, it's right. But that kind of comes with experience. Usually I'm calling design an hour after the site survey. I'll call into design and make any changes I need to make to it. But closing the booking. All right, Lucas, let's hear it, bro. How do you talk? Hey, Lucas, you're on the spot. How do you talk about the 3-day window? Tell the team.
How do you talk?
What did I tell you?
You don't mention it, right?
That's right.
Like you just don't. That's what you
What do
don't
I
even talk about. You don't even talk about it.
What do I
Yeah.
say? What do I say?
Oh goodness, I think I wrote it. Yeah, it's been a minute. How you talking about? I thought you. Hold on. Is it? Oh, I don't.
He doesn't know.
I
Doesn't
remember
know.
he says like, "Hey, I'll just come back," or like I think you just mentioned like, "Hey, I'll just come back on on the final design and let's go from there." Like I remember that's what you told me.
Yeah. That's like the gist of it. Yeah. See,
Yeah, you know we
man,
mentioned.
I told you what I say. You got to remember.
Yeah, yeah.
No,
I had.
I'm just giving you a hard time, man.
Yeah.
So basically, I talk about how I talk about the 3-day window without talking about the 3-day window, is basically what I'm getting to. It's kind of confusing, but I say here, I'm just going to pull this up. You guys take a picture of this or whatever you need to do, but I say if engineering looks at the pictures of your inspection and tells us we need to change anything from this proposal, the whole process will stop. I'll show you a new proposal and we'll go from there. If engineering confirms this proposal and there are no changes, I'll see if you have any more questions at your final design appointment before we start pulling permits. Sound fair? That's right.
Let me read that out loud. Let me read that out loud real quick again, because you kind of cut out a little bit. So if engineering looks at the pictures and tells us we need to change anything from this proposal, the whole process will stop. I'll show you a new proposal and we'll go from there. If engineering confirms this proposal and there are no changes, I'll see if you have any more questions at your final design before we start pulling permits. Sound fair? And then you just pause, Matt. Let them answer.
Yep. What section of the playbook is that?
Close.
Pre-close.
That's the pre-close.
Yep. So basically, hold on a second. Where is it? Where did that go? Oh.
So you do that before you're pulling out the soft credit check. That's not like an objection handle. That's your actual pre-close line.
Yeah. So, sorry. Okay. So basically, right before I show the proposal, I'm showing this timeline again. Okay. And that's what I say. If my guy comes out, takes the pictures, and then engineering looks at those pictures and has to make any changes to your proposal, so price or production, then the whole process will stop. I'll show you a new proposal and we'll just go from there. But if engineering looks at those pictures and your final design matches exactly the proposal that I showed you today, then I will come back over at your final design appointment, see if you have any more questions, and we'll just go from there. Does that sound fair? So that question, does that sound fair? That's my pre-close line most of the time. Okay. You could also say, if everything makes sense, is there any reason you wouldn't go solar? That's a little bit more salesy and can create a little bit of buying pressure. I just pre-close them. Basically, their customer is telling me everything sounds good, Matt. What's the price? I'll get on the schedule. It sounds good as of now. It's looking good, but you didn't create any buying pressure where they're going to start backpedaling. Okay. All right. And then, just closing the deal. So this is at the final design appointment. Hey, congratulations, your home's approved. That was easy. You should congratulate yourselves for being able to do this. Not every home qualifies. I just need you to pull up that email from support with your final design. So this is the final panel layout. Just reply approved for me, and that's all we need on that. And then, yeah, I mean, at that point, the customer would have canceled already if they're not going to do it. Pretty much almost every time, but
Cool. So right now, obviously, we have the luxury of being able to add that pressure because our site surveys are like a week out still. So, but once that's done and we have our surveyor back, obviously still pushing for loan docs is wise because the FDC rate is so much higher. If you do get those, one-off cases where somebody really isn't going to sign loan docs, they're comfortable signing everything else, just not that. What do you do? Like what at that point? How do you soften it up or go, hey, that's fine. You don't have to sign these today, but your rate might go up by the time we get back. Is that what you do or what?
yeah, so right. I really don't want you guys doing bookings this week without loan docs signed. All right. I mean, Michael had a situation where he was in a house with an older homeowner and he couldn't access his checkbook. That's all right. Go for the booking. But I really don't want soft bookings until we get caught up on the site survey, guys. So I would recommend if they won't sign a loan docs, you can get the install agreement signed still. Like, hey, this 18 months free, that could go away. So if you fill this out right now, I'll get you approved for that. And then our site surveyor is really booked out right now. So let's do this. I'm going to give you 24 hours, 48 hours. Is that enough time to look at these finance docs before I come back over? And I would just schedule a follow-up appointment within the next couple days to come back over, repitch him anything he needs to know. They're going to have time to come up with more questions, repitch it and get the loan doc signed, get everything you need, and make that as firm of a booking as possible. That's what I would prefer y'all do. Because what's going to happen if you guys all just go out and keep just doing a bunch of soft bookings, we're just going to keep having worse and worse timelines for the site survey, which is going to hurt the whole team. Okay. So you guys booked 27 last week and you had 2 final designs. All right. No one's making any money. We're losing a bunch of money if you're just doing all these site surveys and they all cancel. Okay. So please, please, please get the loan doc signed at the booking. That's going to help everything. And yeah, we should already have a new site surveyor in training. And hopefully next week we can just go back to doing normal bookings and we can get site surveys within the next 3 days over 90% of the time like we usually can. But this is what I want for right now. And again, I love that I'm making this a rule right now. You guys have done so well at booking. I love that we're in this position. It's a good problem to have, right? This is a good problem to have. So you guys have went out and applied your training so far. I'm just giving you new training to go apply to. So what questions does all that make sense? Anyone have any questions?
I got a question.
I know.
I know you mentioned the site survey a little bit at the end, but at the beginning, or throughout the whole thing, how often do you mention that site survey? Because we don't want to sell the site survey, and that's probably something I may do a little more often than not. So I'm just wondering how often you even mention it, or should we?
Yeah, I mentioned it a couple times, probably 3 times. So after I get in the house and build rapport and ask them the qualifying questions, how'd you hear about solar and what are you interested in finding out with solar, etc. Like my first line of me pitching is just saying, okay, cool. My job today is just to get you on the schedule for that site survey. This is as far as we can get today. So that's my first thing I say to immediately break all the buying pressure. And that's how you sell solar, guys. You got to break buying pressure and act like it's going to be a really laid back, soft sale the whole time at the beginning. But throughout the pitch, you firm it up. All right.
Okay, that's good.
So that's the first thing. The second time I say it, I show that timeline. I say, like I said, we're before step one right now. I'm just giving you all the information. You're going to get it to your email. I'll send it all to your email today. And then we'll get you approved for the financing. You need a 650 credit score. It's a soft credit check today. And then we'll fill out an agreement that's going to cover my guy's liability for coming out to the house. And it's just going to prove to corporate that I showed you the accurate information. And then after that, I'll come back over for your final design. And then you'll say yes. We'll get you into permitting. That'll take a couple months, and then we'll install your system in about a day, maybe 2 days, and then you'll have a city inspection, and you'll Excel swap your meter out, and you'll turn the system on.
Time out. That was so sexy. Can you say that again?
Oh my!
I know it's recorded, but the way you talked about that was so good. Can you do it again, please?
So just from the beginning, like that timeline.
Like, what was that thing? Yeah. I looked at Lucas. There was one line.
Showed you the right information.
Oh yeah, this is just prove to corporate that I showed you. It was just so soft. It was just like, yeah, just sign this. It'll prove to corporate I showed you the right information. Yeah. That's great.
Yeah, exactly. So today we're before step one. I'm just showing you all the information. You're going to get everything sent to your email. And then we got to get you approved for the financing so you can get this 1.99%. I'll talk about that here in a minute. And then you'll fill out an agreement. It's just going to cover my guy's liability for coming out to the house. And then it's also going to just prove to corporate that I did my job and I showed you all the information. And then there'll be your roof inspection, and I'll come back over for your final design, see if you have any more questions. You'll say yes, we'll get you into permitting, et cetera, et cetera. And then the third time I mention it, I show that timeline. So basically I went through my pitch deck, and then I pull up that timeline one more time before the proposal. And I say, cool, once again, just quick reminder about what's about to happen. All right. I'm going to show you the numbers, the part you want to see. You're going to get to your email, and then we're going to get you approved for financing. You just need that 650 credit score. You said that's not a problem, right? Great. And then we're going to go through an agreement. You'll fill out this agreement that, repeat that same thing. Just going to prove to corporate I did my job and show the information. And then I say Lucas's favorite line of, I point at the final design, and I say, if we come out and engineering looks at the pictures from your inspection and there's any changes in price or production, the whole process will stop. I'll show you a new proposal and we'll just go from there. But if we come out and the final design exactly matches the proposal, I'll see if you have any more questions and we'll just go from there. Sound fair? Okay. So those are the three things. Notice how I started really soft the first time. I firm it up a little bit the second time. And the third time I pre-close and I really tell them exactly what's about to happen. When I did this training, the first set of slides I put together for this pull-through training, I had 12, my last 12 pitches, I had 9 bookings and 7 final designs out of those 12. So it works, guys. Please practice it and learn it. What other questions? Any other questions?
Don't be shy. This is good time to do it.
Those of you who go out and like practice this in the office and then go and apply it are gonna succeed and make some money. You're gonna make some good money. Those of you who just kind of brush this off, you don't practice it and never try it in the house, you're still gonna get a lot of cancellations. So it's pretty simple.
And so you said a lot of that is, some of it's like after they're seeing the proposal. Some is before they've seen the proposal. But when you're pointing to the final design step, is that the last slide you're showing and you're going through that and then you're showing the numbers? Or is that after you've shown the numbers, then you re-show them the timeline slide and then say all that stuff?
No, usually that timeline slide is the last slide I show before the proposal. So then I show the proposal. I mean, I breezed. The proposal takes like 5 minutes at the most. I've already sold the deal and I've already pre-closed them on doing a site survey. And then the proposal takes less than 5 minutes, I would say, typically. And then right after the proposal, if I feel like it's necessary, I'll do that 3-year math on my notepad to make it really, really simple and tell them they're about to make $7,000 or whatever the math comes out to be for them. And then I'm transitioning to credit, doing loan docs, doing the install agreement, and getting on the welcome call.
Nice. And when you're doing that math, by the way, are you multiplying their times 1.0425? And
No.
Yeah, you're not.
No. I'm keeping it really simple. And that's what I say too. Like, hey, this isn't even including inflation, which you already told me is the thing. So this is just for easy math purposes. Yeah.
You made them say it too.
Yeah. Again, like it's not going to work 100% of the time, but if you're doing this, you're going to see a lot more of your jobs pull through. What happens pretty much every time for people who haven't sold solar before is you do the pitch perfectly, and then at the very end you tell them exactly how to cancel and when to cancel. And that's what they're going to do. They're going to be like, well, I'm too nice to say no to you to your face, so thanks for telling me how to cancel. I'm just going to cancel like right when you leave, or like an hour before the site surveyor shows up. So don't do that.
What do you do in the scenarios where they're approved for 50,000 and their solar loan is $51,000? Do you like back tell, okay, no worries, we'll switch you to another proposal, or how do you handle that situation?
Yeah, regen it. So I would just take one panel off in that situation, regen it. Like, it's not a big deal if it goes from 100% to 95% because that one panel doesn't matter.
Nice.
Just do 2 loads of laundry less this next year. I don't know. Yeah. So just regen it. If you want to sell the 18 months free, just regen it with 1 less panel or 2 less panels or whatever.
Nice.
All right.
I'm getting lucky today, baby. I'm pumped. I got a 5 can.
There you go.
Loan docs Wednesday, baby.
Guys, please get your loan docs. Go try it. We have so many appointments in Minnesota. I don't care. Go out and fail. Oh, you guys are frozen. Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Hello?
We can hear you kind of now. Yeah, we hear you. Yeah, we got you back.
I said,
we got you back.
Okay. I said, if you want to start trying this today, go try it on an appointment. I do not care if you fall on your face one time with a homeowner. All right. We've got plenty of appointments, but just go out and try it, work on it, practice it in the office, and you guys will pick it up. You guys are killing it. I'll appreciate your hard work. I've got to jump off here. But let me know what else I can do, and let's have a good week.
Thanks, man. Elkins just walked in, by the way. There he is.
Oh, what up?
What up? What up?
Hey, Elkins is a fucking man. Everyone, you should really be glad you have Elkins as your setter manager. This guy is the OG. He was back in Colorado back in the day when I was just a rep. So,
He used to take my appointments like all the time.
I love getting Elkins appointments. Yes, sir. So, all right, guys, we'll see you. Have a good week.
Thanks, Matt. Bye.